Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Data Engineer. So in this video I'll explain one of the very important concepts related to LLM, that is called vector database. Okay. So in this video we will see why we are using vector database, what is called vectorizations or embedding, and why we are using vector database in case of LLM, not the normal database. I'll explain all these things with a real time scenario. Okay, real time use case. I'll take example and I'll explain that. Okay, in easy way. So, basically what is a vector database? Okay, so vector database is a special type of database that store the vectors. Okay, so vectors is nothing but it's like a numerical representation of text, image, audio, code, or any data. Okay, so vector is basically a numerical database. So in our normal database, we are storing the text also, like number also, everything, but in vector database we are storing only that numerical representation of that particular text. Okay, so we understand vector database is a special type of database that store the vectors. Okay, numerical representation of text, image, audio, code, or any data, right? Then what is vector data? Okay, so vector data is basically a number that represents meaning of a text. Okay, so I'll explain with simple example. Suppose I'm taking I love eating bananas. So this wanted to store in vector database. So what we have to do, we have to first convert this number into a vectors. So whatever the model we are using, so this model will convert these numbers, this particular string I love eating bananas, into a list of number that is called vector, that is called vector or embedding. Okay, so the question arises like why we are not, why LLM are not taking help of normal DB, because data is already there in the DB. So why there is a concept of vectorization database comes into picture? Because we know computers understand the numbers better than words. Okay, and there are other region also related to that, but we understand that computer understand number better than words. Okay, so what is special in that? Okay, so why we are using vector? Because if two sentence means similar things, like, so they name, so suppose there are two sentence and that is not 100% matching, but they are similar thing. So they are similar syntax. So what will happen? Their numbers are close. Okay, that is the real magic behind that. Okay, so suppose I'll take two example. Sentence one is like I love eating bananas and the banana is my favorite fruit. So these two sentences are a bit similar, but that is not the exact sentence. So if you will create the vector, so the vector would be similar. Okay, so that is the basic logic behind this vectorizations. Okay, but if you take the different sentence, like my car tire is punctured, so that is totally different from this all. So suppose this number I love eating banana have the factor like 1, 1.238. Okay, so this also will have the similar factor, like banana have 8 again. This number have, like if number is matching, they have the similar factor. If not, they are bit like it's suppose one have the one vector represents one, so it will come like 1.2 if they have the similar meaning, but not exactly the same. But this number have the totally different vector. It will come like 13, 15, 18. That's just like example I'm explaining. Okay, so this will have the different vector. Now let us understand with the simple example, like how to fix. So suppose we have a LLM chatbot, okay, and I'm writing like how to fix laptop not turning out, not turning on. Okay, so I'm giving the prompt to our chatbot. So what it will do, it will convert your questions to vector. Okay, that is number, and search in a vector DB for documentations with similar meaning. So suppose after searching, it is finding two things: laptop will not start troubleshooting or computer no power issue. So these, so I'm giving this prompt and this is finding these two numbers. Okay, so these are not similar. So in ideal, normally database will, what will happen if things are not matching, it will not give the result. Okay, but here in case of vectorized DB, because these have the similar semantics, this their vectors are very close to each other. That's why it is giving the best vector. Who has the best vector closeness? It will give the result, okay, and that gives you the best answer. So that is the main logic behind vector DB. If they are not exactly matching and they are bit similar also, so based on vector things, it will give the exact match, okay. So even though your exact words are not used, meaning is matched, okay. So that's why it is giving the similar thing, okay. Now understanding. So why LLM can't use the normal DB in SQL? Okay. So normal DB like we have MySQL, Postgres, Mongo that understand the exact matches only. Okay. So suppose SQL can answer like give me username where name is Abhishek, find the product where ID is 10. So if that is the exactly match, if name is Abhishek, it will give like that. If there is name something like Abhi, it will not give. If the product ID where product ID is 10, it will. If there is exact match, it will give, but SQL can't understand. So if I'll write the query to SQL like find document similar to this text, give me answer related to these questions, find meaning by similar context. So they are not able to answer these types of questions. Okay, so that's why factorization comes into picture. Okay, because normal DB do not understand the meaning, they only understand the exact word. Okay, so that is the main reason they only understand the exact word, not the meaning. So because they are not understanding the semantics, we are not using that normal database. We are going with the backtrace DB. Okay. So we can see certain LLM use vector DB because they store meaning as numbers. Okay. Because if they have the similar meaning, we need to get the result. Okay. And they need semantic search. They find similar informations. But normal DB understand text like literally. Okay. Text literal. Okay. So if that is the text literal have the same things, it will match. Then it will give the result. But in that scenario, that will not helpful for our LLM. Okay, then vector DB understand meaning like perfect for RAG or chatbots. So because of this nature, we are using the vector DB instead of normal DB. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching.